Hi, I'm Elder Virgil the Doubtful. This is the Book of Mormon 1NEP16. I'm combining this together. We are cranking this forward, man, because things are going to happen or I'm abandoning this project because I am tired of dream interpretations. So, previously, dream interpretations. Today, not dream interpretations. To pass it came that I said unto them that I knew that I had spoken hard things against the wicked. Hard things against the wicked. It sounds like a verse. According to the truth and the righteous have I justified and testified that they should be lifted up at the last day. Wherefore the guilty taketh the truth to be hard, for it cutteth them to the very center. That's some wise words. I like that. And now, my brethren, if ye were righteous, and were willing to hearken to the truth, and give heed unto it, that ye might walk uprightly before God, then ye would not murmur because of the truth, and say, Thou speakest hard things against us. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, did exhort my brethren with all diligence to keep the commandments of the Lord. They've already bowed down. They've already said it's all going to be all right. And we believe them, don't we? And it came to pass that they did humble themselves before the Lord. Again, apparently. Insomuch that I had joy and hopes of them, great hopes of them even, that they would walk the paths of righteousness. Seems unlikely. Now all of these things were said and done as my father did what? What did he do, ladies and gentlemen? Say it with me. He dwelt in a tent in the valley, which he called Lemuel. Man, that tent is important. There should be a museum somewhere in Mormon land which has that tent in it. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, took one of the daughters of Ishmael to wife. We thought so. And I bet the next line is, my brethren took the daughters of Ishmael to wife. And also Zoram. Good, Zoram got himself a lady too. Took the eldest daughter of Ishmael to wife. Good for him. And thus my father had fulfilled all the commandments of the Lord which had been given unto him. And also I, Nephi, had been blessed of the Lord exceedingly. Well, good for you. And it came to pass that the voice of the Lord spake unto my father by night. By night. He snuck up to his tent. Lehi. Psst, Lehi. Wake up. I want you to do something for me. And he commanded him that on the morrow he should take his journey into the wilderness. I need you to go into the wilderness. I mean, further into the wilderness. Like, are you listening? Are you awake? Lehi, go further into the wilderness. And it came to pass that as my father arose in the morning and went forth to the tent door, to his great astonishment he beheld upon the ground a round ball of curious workmanship. It was of fine brass. A round ball of curious workmanship, and it was of fine brass. Okay. And within the ball were two spindles, and one pointed the way whither we should go into the wilderness. It's a compass. He found a compass sitting outside his tent. Lehi, I left you a compass. It's okay. Just follow the arrows, man. Just follow the arrows. It shows the way we should go into the wilderness. So it's a magic compass. My spirit magic helmet. He has his magic sword and magic compass. Oh God. I'm really just... I'm back. Just when I thought I was out, it brought me back. It took several dumb chapters of ridiculous interpretation of dreams, but we have God whispering into Lehi's tent and leaving him a compass in the morning like Santa Claus. I am absolutely... I wish you could see the smile on my face. I wish you could see the smile on my face, because this is awesome. And it came to pass that we did gather together whatsoever things we should carry into the wilderness, and all the remainder of our provisions which the Lord had given unto us. And we did take seed of every kind that we might carry into the wilderness. Yeah, remember the seeds, the magic seeds? So now we have magic seeds and an impossible sword and the magic compass. And it came to pass that we did take our tents and depart into the wilderness across the river Laman. So as happy as I am to be back into the plot of this story, I have a few, let's call them issues. I don't want to say problems because I'm so happy to be back. My major problem is, and I'm staying in the context of the story here, my major problem is that I have no details. I just went through, 6-8 chapters of visions in which we get minutia detail, and now we have been told that there were 4 weddings, 5 weddings, and not a single detail, not a single name. That's an issue I already had. I don't know anybody's names. And how hard would that have been? I married the daughter of Ishmael. Her name was Betty. She likes pineapples, and she's a good hunter, and et cetera, et cetera. Anything. Give me a detail. Tell me who this woman is. She's going to be, allegedly, if I'm projecting forward here, the Eve to this race, or one of the Eves. Tell me her name. I could really use her name. The other problem I have is all of these things are happening, and I'm getting no logistical details. We're told there are seeds, and they gathered them. We don't know how all the seeds in the Arabian desert would... The book is implying that there are seeds from all over the world, that these are all the seeds, or some massive collection of seeds. But we are in the Arabian desert. Where are they getting these seeds? How are they transporting them? Where did they get the carts and the oxen, or whatever pack animal they're using? Or how are they moving this stuff around? They're getting provisions. Are they parachuting in? That's how I drew it, because I had no other option. Where is this stuff? And what is it? Is it manna and doves? Or are we going biblical? Is this just a retelling of the Exodus? We have no information on what any of this stuff is. It's just, and this miracle happened, moving on, don't think too hard about it. That's how the story goes. I'm not supposed to care. And having played Oregon Trail, and some of you might be too young to remember, we've reached a river and now we're crossing it. How are we crossing it? Is there a bridge? Are we floating the carts that we haven't been told they have across the river? Are they swimming? Is it just a tiny stream? I mean, I know this river doesn't exist in reality, but it exists in the story, and you have to cross it somehow. So I'm baffled by the lack of details. We have no information. Miracles are just thrown past us, and if you don't read carefully, if you're struggling through the story, and it just says, oh, and we have provisions. And where? And how long, honestly, have we been here? We had a bunch of weddings and all this other stuff and all these visions, and we haven't been told how long we've been out here. It could have been days. It could have been months. I don't know how fast a courtship takes place in 600 BC, but I would think it takes longer than a day or two. Or unless they just married them off because conveniently there were 5 daughters and 5 eligible bachelors. So, and I still don't know how many kids there are. And I still don't know anybody's names. I'm repeating that, I know, but I don't know anybody's names. That wouldn't be that hard. So now, at least we're moving. We're crossing the river Laman and moving on into the deserts of Arabia. And it came to pass that we traveled for the space of 4 days, which we now know is several hundred kilometers, nearly a south-southeast direction. Okay, and we did pitch our tents again, and we did call the name of the place Shazar. So, you've named a place Shazar. Why? And I don't mean what does the name mean. I mean, why would you name a place? Are you going back? Are you settling in? Is someone else going to find this place? I don't... You didn't tell me the name of your wife, but you've told me the name of a place that, as far as I'm aware, no one will ever come to again for any reason. It's just a fork in the road, a rock in the hill, a turn in the river, what? Nothing? And it came to pass that we did take our bows and arrows, first mention of that, and go forth into the wilderness to slay food for our families. I thought God was providing you provisions. Is it just not enough, or are you trying to vary your diet? Going paleo. And after we had slain food for our families, we did return again to our families in the wilderness. Did you leave the wilderness? To go back to the wilderness, you'd have to leave the wilderness. To the place of Shazar, of course. And we did go forth again in the wilderness, following the same direction, keeping in the most fertile parts of the wilderness, which were in the borders near the Red Sea. Okay. And it came to pass that we did travel for the space of many days this time. Many days. How many is many? What is it? 4, 12, 100? Slaying food, by the way. By the way, with our bows and our arrows and our stones and our slings. And we did follow the directions of the ball. Oh yeah, the compass. I forgot about the compass. Which led us in the more fertile parts of the wilderness. And after we had traveled for the space of many days, we did pitch our tents for the space of a time. How long is that? That we might again rest ourselves and obtain food for our families. I guess God isn't providing food anymore for them. And it came to pass that as I, Nephi, went forth to slay food, behold, I did break my bow, which was made of fine steel. How does a steel bow work? How do you bend that to fire it? And how did you break it? How did you break a steel bow? Whatever. And just see, it's just the sort of thing that makes me pause and go, I don't think the author of this knew anything about a bow and arrow and how they work. You don't bend steel. You can't bend steel. And that's how a bow works. It bends. Behold, my brethren were angry with me because of the loss of my bow. First time I ever heard about it, by the way. I don't know where this came from. For we did obtain no food. Well, that is a hardship. Where are you getting water from? And it came to pass that we did return without food to our families, and being much fatigued because of the journeying, they did suffer much for the want of food. And it came to pass, that Laman and Lemuel and the sons of Ishmael did begin to murmur exceedingly. Murmur exceedingly. There should be a Mormon rock band called Murmur Exceedingly, because of their sufferings and the afflictions in the wilderness. And also my father began to murmur against the Lord his God. Oof, yay, and wow. And they were all exceedingly sorrowful, even that they did murmur against the Lord. Yeah, well, you should know better. I mean, you have the example of Exodus, and you've seen God personally. Now it came to pass that I, Nephi, having been afflicted with my brethren because of the loss of my bow, and their bows having lost their springs? Lost their springs? I'm going to assume you mean they don't bend anymore correctly, like you've also broken them. It began to be exceedingly difficult. You really need to find some other words, man. Yea, insomuch as that we could obtain no food. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, did speak much unto my brethren, because they had hardened their hearts again, even unto complaining against the Lord their God. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, did make out of wood a bow. Oh, good. And out of a straight stick one arrow. Good job, buddy. And I did arm myself with a bow and an arrow, with a sling and with stones. Well, yeah, you still got that. And I said unto my father, Whither shall I go to obtain food? And it came to pass that he did inquire of the Lord, for they had humbled themselves because of my words. What words? You didn't say anything. For I did say many things unto them in the energy of my soul. Okay, Yoda, put that sentence in order next time. And it came to pass that the voice of the Lord came unto my father. Oh, wow. And he was truly chastised. Ai, do what I tell you. Because of the murmuring against the Lord, insomuch that he was brought down into the depths of sorrow. The depth of sorrow. We're going to go down the hill toward the depth of sorrow. And it came to pass that the voice of the Lord said unto him, Look upon the ball, and behold the things which are written. Written where? On the ball? I thought it just had arrows. And it came to pass when my father beheld the things which were written upon the ball. Is he getting text messages from God? He did fear and tremble exceedingly. And also my brethren and the sons of Ishmael and our wives. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, beheld the pointers which were in the ball. See, I don't understand. It's a ball. How are there pointers in text? I don't have a good vision of what this looks like. And they did work according to the faith and diligence and heed which we did give unto them. So it works if you believe it works. And there was also written upon them a new writing, which was plain to be read, which did give us understanding concerning the ways of the Lord. And it was written and changed from time to time, according to the faith and diligence which we gave unto it. Yeah, they're getting text messages from God. And thus we see, by small means, the Lord can bring about great things. It's not small means, this is a miracle. Do they still have this thing? That would seriously kind of set me up to be a Mormon if you could pull this ball out. I mean, I might be more inclined to think that aliens gave you an awesome little tool, but if it has no obvious way of working and still works, I might be a little bit of a Mormon after seeing it. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, did go forth up into the top of the mountain. Up into the top of the mountain. I'm going to assume you mean the top of the mountain. According to the directions which were given upon the ball. Sure. And it came to pass that I did slay wild beasts with your one arrow, insomuch that I did obtain food for our families. And it came to pass that I did return to our tents, bearing the beasts which I had slain. What kind of beasts were they? Come on, man, details. Tell me what it was. And now when they beheld that I had obtained food, how great was their joy. And it came to pass that they did humble them. Who's they? Who's they? Your families? Everybody? There's a ton of people here. And it came to pass that they did humble themselves before the Lord and give thanks unto him. And it came to pass that we did again take our journey, traveling nearly the same course as the beginning, south-southeast, I guess. And after we had traveled for the space of an undisclosed number of many days, we did pitch our tents again, that we might tarry for the space of a time. Tarry for the space of a time. And it came to pass that Ishmael died. Oh, no! Ishmael died. They didn't even tell me he was sick. He didn't even tell me his wife's name. And he buried in the place which was called Naham. Naham. Where is Naham? Okay, so I've looked up Naham, and it would be a whole episode if I did anything on this. Suffice it to say, the Mormons think they know where it is, and everyone else thinks they're crazy. That there is actually a place with a funeral pillar that says there's a guy from the tribe of NHM, and that somehow is evidence. I don't know that it is, and I don't know where this place is supposed to be because we have no real directions except for it's south-southeast and many days and a number of days. So I'm not gonna stay on this. I'm gonna move on because it's not worth doing a whole episode on. And it came to pass that the daughters of Ishmael did mourn exceedingly. Well, they should, because of the loss of their father and because of their afflictions in the wilderness. Really? And they did murmur against my father because he had brought them out of the land of Jerusalem. I guess God didn't soften their hearts, saying, Our father is dead. Yay! That was inappropriate. And we have wandered much in the wilderness, and we have suffered much affliction, hunger, thirst, and fatigue. First time they've mentioned thirst. And after all these sufferings, we must perish in the wilderness with hunger. Well, you'll probably die of thirst first and dehydration. And thus did they murmur against my father, and also against me. Oh, yeah, come on, buddy. And they were desirous to return again to Jerusalem. Well, send them back. And Laman said unto Lemuel, and also to the sons of Ishmael, Behold, let us slay our father and also Nephi. Holy man, this escalated quickly. Who has taken it upon him to be our ruler and our teacher, who are his elder brethren. Man, that just kicked up a notch quick. We're going to murder the heck out of you. Death of Ishmael was a trigger point, man. Now, he says that the Lord has talked with him, and also angels have ministered unto him. But behold, we know he lies unto us. You've seen the angel. You've seen the magic. You're idiots. You're fictional characters. You can't possibly exist because no one is this dumb. And he tells us these things, he being Nephi, telling us, being Laman and Lemuel, and he worketh many things by his cunning arts, that he may deceive our eyes, thinking perhaps that he may lead us away into some strange wilderness. And after he has led us away, he has thought to make himself a king and a ruler over us, that he may do with us according to his will and pleasure. That's dark. And after this manner did my brother Laman stir up their hearts to anger. Well, there's only one verse left. How are we going to pull this around? There's 1639 is the last verse. And it came to pass, you don't have much time, man, you're going to waste in space, that the Lord was with us. How? Yay! Even the voice of the Lord, here it is, the voice of the Lord came and did speak many words unto them, and did chasten them exceedingly. So here, officially, because I can't remember, after all the dream stuff, I don't remember if Laman and Lemuel had ever had any direct interaction with God, but here's the voice of God. And after they were chastened by the voice of the Lord, they did turn away their anger, and did repent their sins, insomuch that the Lord did bless us again with food. Here's your food, bringing you some provisions, airdrop, and we did not perish. And that is the end of 1 Nephi 16. So 1 Nephi 16 is amazing. It's probably going to be one of my longest episodes, so I'm going to wrap this up. This was ridiculous. There was a magic compass. There were weddings. There were attempted murder. The voice of God. This is a a top 10 episode, man. Straight out of the, I don't know how you're going to beat this in the future. So come back for more. Hopefully it stays as amazing. Hopefully we get much more of this type of story. I mean, I would read this kind of story. This is hilarious. Even with the breaking of a steel bow and the other idiocy, that it's entertaining. So like and subscribe, and come back next time for 1 Nephi 17. And as always, I am your guide, Virgil.